Hey, good morning, good morning. We are back and live for breathwork and meditation on Saturday morning here at Booked Basics. I'm Amy and I'll be leading you through some Kundalini practices today. Kundalini is all about awareness and being aware of different cues that our body, our mind, our nervous system, warning, is trying to tell us so that we can release these things, release these stagnant energies, and move on with the day instead of carrying around tension with us. And we've got quite a bit of tension and things going on right now because we're about a week and a half into Mars Retrograde, and we will be here until about mid-November. It's November 13th, I believe. And Mars is the planet of fire and war and anger, and with the collective grieving and processing of loss and change that we've got going on right now. Having that Mars energy on top of it is kind of like adding more gasoline to the fire a little bit. And so I want to take a few moments to talk about the relationship between anger and depression and how those can exist on the same scale. And so if we are feeling like we've got a lot of anger going on and we're hitting up against our edges and there are things that are not making sense with us and we have these thoughts of this isn't fair or this isn't right, this isn't just, these feelings are coming about, and if we don't have some sort of outlet, if we don't have a productive way in order to express these things and think through them, to get past just the reaction of the mind, not to follow the mind down whatever story it's trying to make, but to just sit with these things and figure out how to express it, how to move it through. That's going to be the first challenge. The second challenge would be what happens if we don't find a productive way to do that. We may push that energy onto others. We may push that anger onto others and create more harm in that way. And that's something that we want to unlearn for our nervous system and for those around us and those that we interact with day to day. And if we don't get to that place, so let's say it's the opposite. Rather than putting that anger out, we keep it in. We're still just going through the mind. We're still going through the story. We're trying to figure out and process and make sense of this. If we spend too much time with that anger, it creates this very big fire in the heart, and it can turn inward into depression, to where now all of this is sitting inward. We're taking all of it on ourselves rather than reaching out and connecting with someone, maybe writing, maybe dancing, maybe doing yoga, maybe whatever your form of movement and expression to move these tense feelings and emotions out. So we're going to look at that today. Where are you at in your cycle? Are you able to sit with it and just let it pass? Are you turning it inwards a little bit and it needs to come out? Have you been over pushing it out and maybe you need to reel it back in a little bit? That's for you to decide today and for you to sit with yourself and figure out what is in your highest best for this next step. And so the way that we're going to address these things and work through them today is we're going to do quite a bit of a little active set. It'll have some active breathing, some breath of fire. We're going to work on that heart center. We're going to work on that heart chakra to help to ease that fire a little bit, to help to move those things through. And then our meditation is a meditation to bring ourselves out of depression. So we've got an Anger Kriya and a depression meditation. So no matter where you're at, these energies are going to move and flow and get you into a more balanced state. And we've got a really wonderful mantra that's coming up throughout the Kriya. I had a paper here a second ago. it's going to be one of our traditional sort of classic ones that we go to quite a bit here. So we're going to say Sata Nama, Wahe Guru. So Sata Nama is like one of those basic ones that we do quite a bit. You'll see it in Kirtan Kriya when we go through the Sata Nama. But this is a really good one to remind you that there's this entire cycle, this life or death cycle of things that are continuously being renewed, continuously being reborn, continuously being reshaped. And that aligns with the breath. Every time you take a new breath in, you're starting over another cycle. That could be with anything that comes up for you today, no matter what has happened in the past, no matter how you have reacted in the past, no matter what sort of harm that you have done to yourself or others. You can always begin again with this next breath, the next step, this next moment. And then the Wahe Guru at the end is a bit of a victory, a bit of a celebration, a bit of finding the bliss in that ability to make that next step, to take and transform what was once ignorance into knowledge, what was once an old system that isn't functioning for you, into a new system that you can create. Okay? So from there, we will go ahead and get started. We'll take some time to do a bit of grounding and checking in before we tune in. So just allow yourself to come now onto your mat. Shift it a bit here. In a comfortable cross-leg position, maybe take the fleshy parts out from under your bones so you can really feel those sit bones connecting to the earth. Take a moment now. Hands can be on the tops of the knees. They can be on the floor if you need some more grounded energy. But take a moment here to just turn that gaze inward and upward. Begin to breathe deeply through the nose, in and out. Letting everything else fall away. Just beginning to connect to all 5 of your senses. Noticing the difference in sound between the inhale and exhale of your own breath. Noticing the sensation of touch as you notice how the breath is inhabiting the body. Where does it show up? Where do you feel more expansion? Focusing on making that breath rhythm and cycle as smooth and fluid as possible. It's still early in the morning here, but maybe you are taking time to allow this to be your deepest breaths so far of the day. Each inhale, bringing more oxygen, more prana into our body, into our cells, allowing us to cleanse, detox, and relax. that gaze at the third eye, just at the brow point, inwards and upwards just slightly. Again, take a moment to focus on your posture, focus on your foundation here. So maybe notice where your body is joined with the ground. It may be the sides of your foot, a shin, maybe a calf, your sit bones. Notice these areas where you're rooted and use that foundation now to rise and lengthen all the way from the base of your spine up towards the crown of your head, almost as if someone was pulling a string upward. So with each inhale, you feel those ribs widen out to the side. With each exhale, we allow the spine to lengthen, one vertebrae at a time, creating more space in the diaphragm, more space in the chest, lifting the heart, relaxing the shoulders, allowing the chin to be just slightly down and back, keeping that gaze at the third eye. Remembering here that we are present in this moment with this breath. And if we ever get on track, off of track, we can always begin again. Satanama. With your next inhale, bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, roll them down and back so that they sit just a little lower than before. From here, let the hands come to heart center, rubbing together briskly. Begin to create a little bit of heating, activating energy. And from here, you can take a moment to set an intention for today's practice, if you'd like. Maybe it comes to you in a phrase, maybe it's one word, maybe it's a color, or just an image. Today, we're focusing on expressing ourselves in healthy ways, being balanced, returning back to center. How can you use this time to connect with yourself, mind, body, spirit, and union? When you have that intention set, you can find stillness by pressing the palms together at heart center, allowing yourself to feel the knuckles of the thumbs pressing against the sternum. From here, we tune in with the Adi mantra 3 times. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. We're turning on our Wi-Fi to connect to all of our ancestors, all of our spiritual guides, everyone who's come before us along the path of self-mastery. Remembering that that great wisdom exists within us already. Asking that that great wisdom guide us today in our practice, and also offer the mat. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And inhale to tune in. Om Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. Apply rule bund. So squeeze the anal sphincter, the sex organs. Pull that energy up, up, up. Visualize it spiraling from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. Before it's uncomfortable, slowly exhale through both nostrils. Keep that gaze up at the third eye point. Allow the hands to come either to the tops of the knees in your favorite mudra or at the ground if you still need a bit more grounding energy. Take a moment here just to witness the space that you've created. Do a bit of a mental scan of your body. Notice where you still may be hanging on to a bit of tension. Without judgment, we'll work on it today, and maybe it releases, maybe it doesn't. Also take the time to celebrate where you may already be feeling a sense of expansion just by vibrating and projecting your voice. Very good. When you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. We're going to do just a brief warm-up set. So allow yourself to come on to hands and knees in a tabletop position for a bit of cat-cow stretches. So being flexible with the spine. So allow the knees to fit under the hips. Allow the arms to be underneath the shoulders. If you feel any sort of pain in the wrist, you can always put the hands into fists here for more stability. What we're going to do is on the inhale, we're going to drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the chin. On the exhale, roll back up, push away from the earth. At your own pace here, again, just giving some flexibility in the spine. We want to awaken all of those nerve endings, all of those channels that send messages from our nervous system into the brain. Very good. Inhale forward. Exhale, allow yourself to come down onto your heels now. For a bit of child's pose, you can let your forehead come straight to your mat. Either arms stretched out in front of you or laying back behind you, whatever feels better. You want to try to get some stretch through the back body here, through the shoulder blades, through the back rib cage. Just do a bit of long, deep breathing. Again, invite some awareness into this practice. Notice how the breath is inhabiting the body. Good. Next inhale. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Use the palms to push yourself up. Roll up slowly so that your head is the last thing to rise. From here, bring yourself back to a cross-legged position. You're going to open up the chest, open up the shoulder blades a little bit more. Allowing the hands to come on top of the shoulders. Fingers in front, thumbs in back. We're going to move along with the breath on this one. So as we inhale, we're going to, from the rib cage, turn towards the left. On the exhale, turn towards the right. You may get a little bit of snap, crackle, pop here. It's okay. Just be mindful of any type of instances that may feel more like a pain or a nerve pain. We definitely don't want to push past our edges on this one. We want to be realistic and compassionate with our range of motion and flexibility here. Great job. Keep those elbows lifted. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, let the arms come down again, either to the tops of the knees or to the ground. Allow the breath to regulate. And just take a moment again to witness this space that you've created. So today we're practicing on listening to what our mind, body, spirit is trying to communicate to us. Taking a moment to get past the thoughts of the mind, to let that noise settle so that we can really focus in on what it is that we need. From here, begin to rotate the nose upwards on the inhale, downwards on the exhale. Getting some movement here in the neck. Beginning to open up the throat chakra. Because once we identify what it is that we need to be able to communicate that and express that to not only ourselves, but to others in our lives who are committed to showing up for us, committed to supporting us. Just continue to draw circles at the end of your nose. On your next exhale, take a moment to pause and then begin rotating in the opposite direction. So inhaling up, exhaling down. Slowly begin to make your circles smaller and smaller. Until you come to a neutral space at center. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And now we are ready to move into our Kriya. So you need to take a moment to stretch out the legs, give them a little bit of either bouncing the knees, maybe some windshield wiper movements, maybe a little bit of flexing. So flexing, pointing the feet and the toes, into the toes, all the way up to the sides of the hips there. A good portion of this Kriya today will be seated. So if at any time in between exercises you feel that you need to stretch out your legs, go ahead and feel free to do that. Very good. Okay, let those legs come back into a cross-leg position. And what you're going to do for this next one, we're going to spend some time doing long, deep breathing. So it's breathing that originates from the diaphragm here. So the inhale, we feel the belly come out. On the exhale, we push it back in and up to get rid of all of that stagnant energy. So a bit of long, deep breathing. We're going to take the left hand and you are going to pinch the very end. So it's just above the knuckle of your left hand. So not quite the nail, but sort of right underneath the nail where that first knuckle is at, between that first knuckle and the nail. And you're just going to apply pressure with your index finger and thumb of the right hand. Just kind of let it rest wherever it naturally is, keeping that squeeze there. Bringing that gaze inward and upward and just doing a bit of long, deep breathing. We'll be here for about a minute and a half. Good. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Relax the posture. Stretch out the hands if you need to. And rotate the wrists. Next one, we're bringing another breathing style into this Kriya. This one is breath of fire. So this one's gonna work on activating that stagnant energy and that solar plexus area. It's gonna work on purifying our glandular system, the lymph area. It's gonna work on opening the heart, really helping to move tension through the body. So the way that you do breath of fire is you're going to pump the navel, pump the stomach, almost like you're panting, but the breath comes in and out through the nose solely. So it sounds something like this. If you begin to feel lightheaded, stop. You are breathing in too much, and we'll need to do some more practice on this. So just be mindful. If you start to feel like this weird high or this dizziness, stop and focus on just solely the exhale here, okay? So the arms are going to come out to the sides in tight fists with the thumbs up. Shoulders come flex just back a bit so that we're opened and relaxed all through here. And from here, we do breath of fire. Good. Inhale deeply. Apply Mulaband as you suspend the breath. So pull up on that energy. Imagine it spiraling from the base of the spine up through the crown of the head. Exhale slowly through the nose. Let the arms come down. And for the next minute, just roll the shoulders in any direction you want. You can do backwards, you can do forwards, you can mix it up. Just roll out the shoulders, release any tension here. Keep the neck relaxed. Keep the muscles on the face relaxed. Good. Inhale deeply here. Exhale completely. Remain in this cross-leg position. Allow the forearms and the palms to face up, just right at the side. Sort of relaxing, but pulled in at the elbows. The arm should be at about a 45-degree angle. So if this is even and this is 90, we want it to be about halfway without feeling like we're straining anything. And from here, we are going to pant through the mouth with the tongue stretched out as far as possible. So this is a great one, again, to tune up the nervous system. So just begin at your own pace. Continue at your own pace here. The difference between this one and Breath of Fire is it's a little slower, and rather than the pants originating from the belly, it's going to originate more from the upper chest area. Good, 30 more seconds here. Really keep that tongue stretched out as far as possible. Totally okay if you drool on yourself. Good, inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale completely. 2 more times, inhale deeply. Exhale. Once more, inhale deeply. Exhale consciously. Very good. From here, press those palms in at heart center. Feel the knuckles of the thumbs, pressing the sternum. Meditative posture here, chest lifted, shoulders back, chin slightly down and back. Your drishti or gaze is at the third eye. Long, deep breathing here. Just you and yourself, witnessing your space for the next 3 minutes. Very good. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Returning back to breath of fire for this next one. Take a moment to stretch out the legs. We'll be moving into bridge pose or a reverse tabletop pose, depending on how you like to refer to it. Stretch out those legs, move them around so you're feeling all the feeling in there. If anything has started to fall asleep. So for this next one, we're coming back to breath of fire. Let me show you the pose before we try to get into it. It's quite intense, but it's only for a minute. So we're gonna let the palms come back. We'll let the legs come in front of us, grounded and lifted so that we're supported here, okay? Again, if you have wrist issues, let yourself come onto fists here. The chin will be tucked into the chest as much as possible to protect the neck. And the left foot will come up lifted and pointed just to about 60 degrees. So you want to be as lifted as we possibly can, but also have the leg up. And we'll go into breath of fire for 1 minute. I know that you can do it. There may be anger that comes out of this, but that's all a part of the practice. So see how you can do here. Again, it's just you against yourself. So lift yourself up. Let the chin come into the chest. Left leg lifted and pointed. Breath of fire. Good, you're almost there. Stay lifted, stay lifted. Inhale deeply. Exhale, relax the posture. Come lying down onto your back. Relax. Just here for a moment. Let the breath regulate. Feel that energy pumping through your body, circulating. With your next inhale, bring the feet together, bring the arms up overhead, just for a little bit of a full body stretch, just like you're waking up in the morning. On the exhale, the knees come in towards the chest. Maybe rock from side to side for a bit. Give that lower back just a little bit of a massage. This next one will invite a little bit of playfulness into your practice. So just like in life, anytime we have a little too much anger, it may be a cue that we need to create some joy. So we're gonna spend the next minute here just rocking and rolling along the spine. Just going at your own pace, going at whatever feels nice and fluid. Just focusing on feeling the movement, feeling the ground, massage your back here. Keep that navel point engaged, keep these movements fluid. But mostly just enjoy your play here. Very good. On your next roll up, allow yourself to come back into a seated position so that we can come up to standing. On this one, we will do a bit of running in place while doing rapid fire. So it sounds quite intense, but we will be here for 2 minutes. So really just do your best, be mindful of your knees, and how much space you need, but you're going to move back and forth while doing rapid fire. Up to you on this one where you want the gaze to be. If you need it, if you need to keep the eyes open so that you're not feeling dizzy, so that you're keeping your bearings and where you are, go ahead and allow the eyes to be open. Otherwise, you can most certainly keep that gaze at the third eye. Ten more seconds, you're almost there. Very good. Inhale deeply, bring the arms over the head. Exhale completely. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Allow yourself to come back to seated onto your mat. Take a moment to just bring that gaze inward. Recognize the space that you've created. Allow your breath to regulate itself. No need to control it at the moment. Feel that life force pumping through your veins. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. This next one, we're going to come seated on the heels. So you may want to have, if you have any type of knee issue or you feel that this gets really tight or painful, you may want to have a blanket or some type of pillow, something to put underneath your heels to give you just a little bit more space there. We're going to be putting our forehead towards the ground so that is also difficult for you. You may want to get, again, another pillow, maybe something like a yoga block that you can rest the forehead on. Again, it all depends on how your body's feeling today. But essentially for this one, this is when we're bringing our mudra in. So we're going to do Satanama Wahe. And what it's going to look like here, we'll say it mentally. We'll just mentally vibrate it and think it. And it's going to go along with the breath. So hands are going to be behind the back with the fingers interlaced, thumbs crossed over, however feels most comfortable to you. And on the inhale, we'll do 4 tiny little sips of air while we vibrate. Sa-ta-na-ma. And then one smooth movement, Wahe. So in my head, I'm vibrating, Sa-ta-na-ma, Wahe. And I'm using these tiny little sips. One long exhale. One long exhale. Got it? So we'll be here for a few minutes. Focus on that cycle. Sa-ta-na-ma. Very good. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Release the hands. If you were leaning forward, use those hands to push yourself up so that you come back up to a seated position. Come back into a cross-leg position. Seated on your mat. for a little bit of left nostril breathing. So that one, I don't know about you, if you can see this face, but that one brings up a lot of heat, a lot of stuff towards the head. As we're working on the kidneys, we're working on the adrenals. We're working actually on this back area of the aura as well as we sweep the arms. So now it's time to find balance and cool down the body a little bit. So what we're going to do is allow the right hand and the right thumb to close off the right nostril so that we can inhale through the left and exhale through the right. And all I'm doing here is switching between my thumb and switching between my ring finger to help close off those different nostrils. Very good. Now switch hands and switch nostrils. So we'll begin to inhale through the right, exhale through the left. Got quite a lot of allergies going on here in Central Texas, so kudos to you for moving through this, moving through that breathing, allowing everything to open up. Very good. So inhale deeply through both nostrils. Bring those hands up overhead. Stretch them and flex the hands. So inhale deeply here. Exhale completely. Flex those hands and stretch. You can stretch them out to the sides. Stretch them back up. Just big deep breaths here. Very good. Okay, let the hands come down. Shake anything out that you may need to. Moving right into our meditation. This is a meditation to get out of depression. This is from Guru Narsana Kaur's book, Relax and Renew. And again, we're going to focus on a breathing technique here. So we're going to inhale for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. And then we're going to suspend the breath out and hold for 15, or as long as you can, working up to 15. And we'll be here for 3 minutes. So that's 2 complete cycles of all of our blood, cells, and everything moving through our body to try to produce that. And the arms are going to be right out in front of us. So if you take your right hand, put it into a fist with the thumb up, let the left hand come in front and wrap around. Again, thumbs facing up. Again, try to be as relaxed in the shoulders, neck, and face as possible. Let the drishti stay at the third eye. And again, just focus on that breath here. Nothing else exists, just your breath. Inhaling for 5, exhaling for 5, and suspending for 15. If you get off track or you mess up, it's totally okay. You can always begin anew with that next breath. Begin when you're ready. Good. Keep this posture here. Now let's bring the practice outward and bring that gaze to the tips of the thumbs. Still focusing on that same breathing. You start to experience any shaking at all, that's totally normal. It's just those pathways waking up again, re-energizing to fire those responses through your body. Very good. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Relax yourself out of the posture. Allow yourself now to come lying down onto your back for deep relaxation. So if you want to be cozy and you want to cover up with a blanket, go ahead and do that. If you're a little bit heated from today's practice and don't need that, again, it's up to you. But let your feet spread as wide as your mat. Let your arms fall away from your body, palms facing up. Let the shoulders come away from the ears. Begin to relax your breath as you relax into the ground. Relax into your support. So relax the tops of the feet, the ankles, calves, knees and thighs. Relax the hips. As you relax the breath, relax the belly. Relax the lower back. Relax the rib cage and the shoulder blades as you melt deeper into the floor. Relax the hands, the wrists, forearms and elbows. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck, relax the jaw so you can feel space between the teeth. The muscles on the face, the eyes behind the eyelids, brow, forehead, scalp are all at ease as your head rests gently against the ground. Allow yourself now to rest and integrate all the work that you've put in today. As your body heals its 3 trillion plus cells. Slowly begin to deepen your breath as you return back to your body in this moment in time and space. Begin to invite tiny movements into your fingertips and toes. Begin to circle the hands around the wrists and the feet, around the ankles in all directions. With the next inhale, bring the feet together, bring the arms up overhead again for a full body stretch, just like you're waking up in the morning. On your exhale, bring the knees into the chest. Again, give yourself a little hug. Rock from side to side. From here, begin to rub briskly together the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet. Rub the tongue along the roof of the mouth, stimulating all the body's energy centers, meridian points. And from here, you can either rock and roll along the spine at least 3 times to come to seated, or you can simply turn over to one side and push yourself up. And with that, we will conclude our practice today by singing the Long Time Sunshine song to send out any final peace and blessings. We'll sing it twice. First for ourselves, for our vision, our goals that we have, things that we'd like to move forward with in our journey. And the second time, we sing it for everyone we know, everyone we have yet to meet along this lifetime. So once more, bring those hands into heart center. Take a moment to reconnect with your intention for today's practice as you're gathering your peace and blessings. Today we talked about anger and depression and Mars Retrograde. Understanding how to move through those emotions, to let them settle, to listen to what it is that we truly need and express it. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And inhale to sing. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Sa Nam. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we be holistically in union. Mind, body, spirit. May we navigate this Mars retrograde with grace and compassion. Satnam. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Continue to tune in to the Bucks Basics channel to see all of the new things that we have coming, to check in and stay updated with our ever-growing video library. You can hit the subscribe button and please share with anyone that you know who may benefit from these technologies. Satnam, I'll see you next time.